So, welcome to week one of the Sanomentology Therapeutic Design training. And on week one, we'll have a bit of an intro first, and then we're going to get straight into it. We're going to get straight into some of the work you can do using these processes. The program was born from an evolution in a series of different therapeutic processes. And just to clear up any confusion, the word sanomentology comes from the Latin words sano, to make whole or restore, ment, of the mind, and ology, the study and research of. And that's what I do. It's I'm continually developing, evolving the program as we learn more and as we experience more with ourselves and with clients. The center of the logo of Sanomentology came about quite amusingly, well, coincidentally. It's incorporating the Greek letters of sigma and mu. And coincidentally or not, in physics and in maths, these represent the sum of and micro, which is fitted in quite well with Sanomentology, as a lot of the processes look at the multitude of small things that can accumulate up to create bigger issues. The therapeutic design program is a perfect blend of multiple therapeutic processes that break down the barriers between psychology, philosophy, science, and theology. Because that's where I believe the truth lies. I think they've all got elements between them all, but somewhere in between is what we need to really thrive as human beings. Now, obviously, you've got this training, you've got approximately 16 weeks of this, you've got the manual, but your participation and your passion in the group and in the team will directly link to what you get from it. There is the licensed group. Get yourselves involved with it, sort of ask questions in it, things like that. I'll always answer. There's a few others that are quite active in there that I'll answer. And sort of just build your passion for helping others through that as well. If you do want to take it that step further than what we're doing here, then the Sanomentology Magic and Wizardry course breaks through those barriers and the constraints within psychology and the mind to take things even further. So, how does all this work? Primarily, we use the power of the dream. Now, you've all experienced dreams at some point, even if you don't remember them. You'll have seen a multitude of things on the internet interpreting dreams and stuff like that. And to me, trying to interpret somebody's dreams is quite a futile exercise because they're so random. The thing is, since the dawn of time, the power of the dream has been recognized as one of the most effective healing processes that we can ever experience. It's built within us for that. Your ancient civilizations, the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Persians, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Aborigines, you name them, they all have records describing some sort of sleep temple where a person will be guided into a dream and then left to heal. Now, unfortunately, this ancient practice was lost to history. It was classed as part of the respective beliefs of the old gods, and the practices were condemned and disregarded by the newer forms of religion. People that practice this sort of stuff, these healing arts, they were persecuted, punished, often with death. However, that ability to dream is still one of the most powerful processes we possess. The dream is the ultimate connecting and communication medium across the whole of consciousness. And that's not just the conscious and the unconscious mind. As we'll explain later, it goes much deeper than that. Now, using our unique dream architecture, which is the structure around a lot of our processes, we can work without the interference from the limiting and critical conscious mind. And this allows messages and processes to be carried across every level of a person's being. So what is, I mean, how powerful is the dream? Some of your biggest life-changing inventions and discoveries were made due to the innate power of the dream. The sewing machine, DNA, the periodic table, Einstein's theory of relativity, Google. The list could go on and on. And the science behind the healing power of dreams is quite clear. There is science behind it. It's just not all theory. Dreams are something that evolution has developed to help us and other animals to make sense and deal with the world around us. And it works, except the problem we have now is the world is changing faster than evolution can keep up with. Go back to my childhood when we lived in caves. Sorry, joke there. That's the sort of thing my kids would say, you know, when the dinosaurs were around. We had a limited sense of purpose back then. Talking prehistoric now, not my childhood, just for those who are a bit slow on the uptake today. All mankind had to do was look out for small groups of people in his tribe and think about the basic needs. So when he dreamed at night, they would have been focused and clear, dealing with the limiting issues that were current. Is there enough wood for the fire? Is there a saber-toothed tiger outside the cave waiting to eat us? That's about it. The problem now is people worry and fear way too much. We're driven by the world around us to fear, to worry, to stress over way too much. The constant bombardment from social media and other platforms, the sheer busyness of the world overloads our senses, and in turn, the amygdala, the part that analyzes it all. Add into that TV, films, video games. And this further the cataclysmic overload in that amygdala. The amygdala doesn't understand fantasy reality. It doesn't know zombies aren't real, or there's not going to be a nuclear explosion in the next 5 minutes if Nicolas Cage doesn't find where that bomb is, sort of thing. So all this builds up in the amygdala and causes more perceived danger to filter and sort out. And as clever as we are, as advanced as we are, our brains aren't built for that level of information. So in these cases, the dreams become randomized, chaotic, confusing, muddled. The amygdala can't do its job properly. And this leads to an increase in anxiety, fear, illness, other maladies that we suffer. Now, the amygdala is that tiny piece in the brain right near the center, shaped a bit like an almond. And amygdala is derived from the Greek word for almond. But that's not the only change that's made. We have another part that's a bit pencil-shaped called the reticular activating system. This is the part that causes the blue car syndrome that law of attraction people talk about. Those blue cars would have been everywhere. It's just that you're suddenly trying to attract one. You notice them more because that reticular activating system is activated to look for it. So you notice it more. But with this overload in the amygdala, the reticular activating system and other elements of the brain start to raise the awareness of danger, of threats, which then increases the information that the amygdala has to filter even more. You're locked in a vicious cycle. And this is where our magic lies, the magic of Sanomentology. Our protocols, our processes all use this ancient ability that we've all got. We all possess it. Now, we don't do it like the priests do. We don't send you to sleep in a temple. We're past that side. I've merged it with modern science, theology, and ancient philosophy to bring about, I'm going to say perfect. Somebody might argue with me, but a perfect blend of working processes that will clear out virtually anything using that power of dreams. So what we do, rather than letting the dream run randomly, as happens usually when you go to sleep, the processes in Sanomentology will guide them. They'll set the scene and filter out those unnecessary elements, which will then allow the dream to resolve each issue systematically and methodically, as it needs to do. The client's dreams are their own. They'll run in the best way to suit them safely, but we remove that muddled and confusing overload. Using that, we can guide a person to heal, to think clearly, to resolve problems, build a future in ways that are natural, effective, and fast. Physical, mental, and spiritual problems and issues can be resolved quickly, cleared out. Patterns can be changed. And as this happens, the amygdala clears out, allowing it to continue its job with clarity and purpose. As I mentioned, the priests of ancient times would perform rituals to set this scene for the dream, and then just send the person to sleep. As Sanomentologists using dream architecture, we set the scene more directly. We guide the client personally to work within their dream, which ensures we make sure that anything needs to be done gets done. And like I said, it is powerful. Which brings us on to the training, and just a small summary of it. We are incredibly complex beings, and we live in an even more complex world, in a completely complex universe. We are quite literally unable to comprehend and understand everything that goes on. However, this training and the manual that accompanies it will provide the theory and the structure to help you resolve almost any issue a client may present. As long as you follow the basic rules behind the program, you'll find yourself easily helping people to change. The key behind that is because it's their dreams, we're not suggesting the change. We're giving them the freedom to find it themselves. And because they created their problem in the first place, they know how to fix it. Now, throughout this training, I will make analogies related to computers, but it's a severe understatement to the scale of how the unconscious runs. And just as a disclaimer, many of the ideas and thoughts portrayed in this manual are purely theoretical. However, they have a long-standing proven record of having the desired effects. Any opinions and beliefs in the manual or anything that I state on the training are purely that. My opinions, my beliefs. So take from this training and the manual as much or as little as you desire. My intent here is not